All right, welcome back, family. This is week 6 of our Fearless Immunity Masterclass. And for those of you who have been present with us the entire time, whether you have been watching the videos or you've been present with us in the office, what I want to do right now, what I want you to do is just take this time to commend yourself, give yourself a pat on the back for investing the time and energy into doing something that is going to better yourself, doing something that is going to develop you into becoming a better version of yourself. Because that's really the entire purpose for us doing this. Just we want to make sure that we're giving you the tools and resources necessary that you can go out and just be able to live the life that you want to live. And so this week, what we will be doing is going over our final class, which is our fitness plan. And so if you've been with us each week, we've been breaking down different concepts of building your immunity, going through our Max Living 5 Essentials and how you can apply that to your life to be able to, we just break it down with in the very beginning, just explaining it. And we talked about how you can boost your immunity against viruses, just working on your nutrition plan like we talked about last week as well. And so again, this week, we're gonna be going through the fitness plan. So this is a little bit about me. Yes, that handsome young man you see beasting on those ropes over there is myself, yours truly. I was getting it in back in the day. It's a couple years ago. I need to do that again, actually. That was actually pretty fun. I just need to see if I can do it again, too. But honestly, the most important thing to know about me is that I am just a humble servant, just doing every single thing that I can just to help someone become the best version of themselves. As I'm on this journey myself to become the best version of myself, I don't look at myself as, I'm just this, high and mighty, ultimate wise person. And I'm just, talking to other people. But it's like, as I'm helping you and coaching you through the struggle, I'm going through the same thing myself, that we can both be on this journey of just reaching our fullest potential, and just taking it one day at a time and doing it with a sense of joy and peace, and not like out of a sense of of dread and misery and hate in order to become that. Because at the end of the day, we're working to become the best versions of ourselves because we love ourselves and we want to do everything we can to make our lives the best that it can be. And that's the same goal that we have as an entire organization with Max Living, is to guide people through this basically this landmine field of negative information, of misinformation, of fear, of despair, basically to guide people through a health revolution to take your health to the next level so that you can continue to live your purpose to your best potential and to your maximal potential, so that not only you can just have amazing and abundant health, but the most important aspect of it is so you can have that abundant health to be the foundation of a purpose-driven life. Because every single person, whether it's grand or small, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What really matters is every single person has a purpose. And my goal, the goal of the office, the goal of Max Living in general, is just to help you be able to live that purpose to the best of your ability. But you have to have your health intact in order to do it. And so, like I said, last week, what we went through is just helping you to have a proper nutrition, taking your nutrition to the next level, and being able to have a diet that is going to help you to detox and minimize the amount of toxic exposure that you get from food, and basically give you the nutrients to create a healthy immune system. And so this week, what we will be doing is going over, again, like I said in the very beginning, the fitness plan. And so this is very, very trying, very relevant topic now. They say summer bodies are made in the winter. And so the best way to look at that is that your future self is created by the actions that you take today. And so if you even look before this year, before 2020, before everything with COVID, we were already in a health crisis in this country. And if you just look around, right, you can just tell like the vast majority, like the majority of our population are overweight or obese. And one of the reasons for that, and there's many different reasons for that, and before I even get into it, also understand that when I talk about the vast majority of the population being overweight or obese, it's not a sense of I'm condemning anyone or talking down on anyone to make anyone feel bad about it. or to just speak negatively about people. It's not coming from a place of condemnation or judgment. What it really is all about is finding out exactly where you are and where you want to be and what you need to do to get there. Because at the end of the day, like, you're not a bad person because you're overweight. You're not a good person because you're healthy, right? That has nothing to do with either. So you shouldn't feel bad about yourself because you're in a certain situation, whether the society views it as desirable or undesirable, no matter what it is. At the end of the day, it's everything we do is we speak and we act out of love. And so, but we also have to be honest with ourselves too. We have to have a honest assessment of where we are. And to be honest with you, we just look around in our country, you look at all the health statistics, our health is extremely poor. And then one of the reasons why we're getting hit so hard with this coronavirus is because of the lack of proper health in this country. We're already basically extremely susceptible for any type of virus or illness to come along and wipe us, and hit us pretty hard, just because our health has been historically over the past few decades been declining year after year after year. And weight is definitely a significant problem. And so there are many different factors for that. One of them is obviously our nutrition, our diet, the standard American diet, which is, ironically enough, standard American diet's acronym is SAD, because it is sad, because we do have a sad nutrition system here, which basically our food is extremely high in calories and extremely low in nutrient density, which can cause us to eat these big meals and be hungry later because we haven't satisfied any nutrient deficits that we had. I mean, even in the soil, the fruits, the vegetables that we eat, even if you're trying to eat healthy, they don't have the same nutrients as they had years ago. The calories that we intake, there's research to show that we are consuming about 23% more calories now than we did in the 70s. And that is definitely one of the major contributing factors to the overweight and obesity problem that we have here in this nation. But there's other factors as well too, such as stress, chronic stress. It throws off your hormone imbalance. It can create unhealthy eating habits. And also what it can do is, if you do, it can prevent you from creating a fitness plan or sticking to it because you're so stressed out, you're depressed, you don't feel like doing anything. Once you put in that grind on your 9 to 5 or whatever it may be in your job, you feel like you don't have any energy or any time left to invest and take care of your body. And so we're also going to get into the physical side of it, because another honest inventory that we have to take is the majority of Americans do not get adequate amount of physical activity. And I emphasize adequate amount of physical activity because just because you're getting some doesn't mean you're getting enough to be able to create the healthiest body that you possibly can have. And again, it's not coming from a place of judgment, but it's just about doing an honest self-assessment and understanding like where you want your life to be, where you want your health to be, and then to look at your daily actions and ask yourself, is this leading me to the result that I want to have? And if so, then great, keep up with that. But if not, then let's take some time to really find out what we can do to improve that. And so with the obesity issue that we have, again, one of the statistics that you'll see with a lot of the COVID deaths is that there are usually linked to at least 2 or more comorbidities. And with being obese, right, there's countless amounts of research that show that obesity is linked to many different chronic illnesses, many different of these comorbidities that are actually causing people to be more susceptible and have a much more severe outcome when they do come in contact with not even just coronavirus, but other things, flus, colds, any other viruses, bacteria that they encounter. And so part of the reason for that is not because the actual disease of obesity makes you more susceptible to the severity of other problems. And it's not that the obesity is like directly going to cause any of the other problems. But the thing is, in order for you to be extremely overweight or obese, then what has to happen is your body is already in a severe state of dysfunction. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that when I say that being overweight or obese means that your body's in a state of dysfunction, what I don't want you to take from that is thin or skinny equals healthy. because that is absolutely not the case at all. You're going to have extremely thin or skinny people still be extremely unhealthy. Like health doesn't necessarily equate with one or the other. But what I mean is that chances are, when you are at your healthiest, when you're at your optimal health, like the absolute healthiest you can be, there is a very, very slim chance that you will be overweight or obese. And so with that, with being overweight or being obese, that's already letting you know that your body is dysfunctional and you have dysfunctional metabolic processes happening, which then is basically you can look into a crystal ball and know, all right, well, my body's already dysfunctional. It's only a matter of time before that dysfunction shows up in my vital organs and I start to have symptoms from that. And when looking at being overweight or obese, a lot of people will look at BMI. I'm not a big fan of BMI just because it doesn't take into account a lot of different factors. For instance, with my height and my weight, I am technically, according to the BMI chart, with my height and my weight, I am overweight, right? Me. I'm overweight classified by the BMI. That's why I don't necessarily like it. So the best thing to do if you're going to, get into any type of understanding like where you are in your body and your fitness is to do body mass composition. Like body composition is much more accurate and give you a better picture because it looks at your percentage of fat, your percentage of lean muscle as well. It's a much better indicator than BMI. But again, what we want to do today is to go through the 5 essentials of max living, which again, just a quick recap, is the core chiropractic, nutrition, mindset, oxygen and lean muscles, and minimizing toxins. To go through those to help you develop a rock solid fitness plan to help you then begin to, number one, build up your immunity, but also to just build that body and build the life and build the health that you want to have. So starting off with, we talked about not many people get much or adequate exercise. I mean, there's actually, I think maybe about 40%, I believe was the last I looked at it, 40% get no exercise at all. Absolutely none. And so the other people are getting very diminished, they're not getting enough adequate exercise. And so with that, you have to look at where you are, look at where you want to go again, and then develop a plan to get there. And then don't be in a rush to get to where you want to go as well. And so no matter where you are on your health journey, you have to be honest where you are as far as your activity, as far as your physical capabilities, right? You have to, when you're on the health journey, you got to have your ego in check. You can't go into a workout, full of ego, thinking you can do all things and conquer all. I mean, it's great to have that mindset, but when it comes down to the actual execution of it, you have to know what you're capable of. Because the last thing I want for anybody is for you to go into it too gung-ho, doing way too much too soon, and then end up injuring yourself. Because I've definitely seen that quite a few times throughout my years of practice, seeing people injure themselves and then be completely set back on their health and fitness journey, and they get discouraged from that. And then the next time you go into it, you're not even, you're a little bit apprehensive about it because you know what happened the last time you tried to work out. And so when you look at it, it's a lot easier to be patient with yourself and to be patient with results when developing a fitness plan and a fitness routine when you look at it in the grand scheme. So don't be so caught up on trying to lose weight or get into shape within a few weeks or a few months or even like a year. Like, give yourself a time span of 5 years or 10 years and understand that this is a journey. We're playing for the long game. This is a marathon, not 100 yards or a 40-yard sprint. So give yourself time to grow and develop and to be able to be comfortable with starting from scratch and starting with baby steps. Just like in school, we don't teach children in school, when they first get in school, we're not teaching them to, write novels. What are we teaching them? You learn a letter, right? You learn a letter, and you learn another letter, and you learn to master just your letters. Once you master your letters, then you can put sentences together, and then you can grow from there. So you have to look at it the same way in your fitness journey. Yes, you may be an adult, but the concept is still the same. If you're not an expert in something, then you have to start from scratch, and you have to be okay in the beginning of being completely uncomfortable, honestly having no idea what you're doing, but having the understanding that I'm going to just do everything I can necessary to, just continue to get better and better over time. And just like I said, just give yourself permission to be patient and to take things slowly and to continue to prove day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and get better and better as time goes on. And so with exercise, and there's many different types of fitness routines. The most important thing is if you're doing nothing at all, just get started, right? If you're not doing anything at all, just start walking, right? If you're already walking, then, start jogging. If you're jogging, then run. If you're not going to the gym at all, go 1 day a week, right? Go 2 days a week. Just start doing something. Just get your body and your neurology trained just to start doing something different. Just get a little bit more active and be disciplined with that, right? Because you may think, all right, going to the gym 1 time a week isn't really going to do anything. In the grand scheme of health, no, it's not. But what it is going to do, if you're disciplined with that, you're going to then train yourself. All right, I got this 1 day a week. You're going to be disciplined with that. And then your body's going to reward yourself for that discipline. You're going to feel that sense of confidence. And then what you can do is bump it up to 2, and then 3. And then you continue to do that and you stay disciplined with it over time. Before you know it, now you're the type of person that goes to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, no matter what. Because I don't care who you are. I don't care what your status is. I don't care what your job is. I don't care what your financial situation is. Every single person has excuses. And the thing about excuses is all excuses, the detriment to them, I won't say all of them, but the serious problem with excuses is that most of them are valid. Like, most of them make sense. But when we talk about bettering ourselves and becoming the best versions of ourselves, there's always going to be a wall. There's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason for you to pull back, for you not to do something, for you to quit, for you to stop. And so in that journey of self-development, the most important thing is perseverance and learning to overcome no matter what that excuse is. Okay. And again, like I said, I'm speaking to you, for you, but I'm also speaking to myself as well, because I'm not going to act like I don't struggle with that as well. There are things in my life where I can have an excuse and I can, back off or quit, but luckily enough, I have people around me that continue to push me and to continue to encourage me to keep going. So I want to do the same for you, but I also want to be real with you as well too. We have to shut these excuses down. Everybody has valid excuses. It does not matter. You got to overcome that. And so with your fitness routine, just start doing something. But the greatest return on investment when it comes to fitness is the short duration, high intensity form of exercise. And you'll also hear it commonly known to as HIIT training. So basically what that is instead of, for instance, doing like an hour on a treadmill, then what you do is you can look at it as, short increments of going as hard as you physically can. And that looks different for every single person. Your capacity is your capacity. Like, your limit is your limit. And so it's going at, 70 to 90% of your capacity for a short amount of time. And then you have a short amount of rest. And then you get back into the intensity. And that type of workout of bringing your heart rate all the way up, dropping it down, bringing it up and dropping it down, that is the best type of workout to, number one, balance and restructure and basically normalize your hormone regulation, but also in the fat burning benefits of that as well too, because there's something called EPOC, and basically what that refers to is your fat burning ability after you've completed the workout. And what it has a lot of different factors, but the main one, as far as the duration of that fat burning, that afterburn effect after the workout, is the intensity of the workout. So if you do, for instance, a very low, light workout that's not really challenging you, you're able to talk, you're able to, you're not really sweating that much during the workout. It's not really pushing you or challenging that much. The afterburn effect of that is not really going to be, it's not going to be really, I'm going to say significant, but it's not going to be as long as if the workout that you had is even shorter in time, but you are going as hard as you possibly can. And I mean as hard as you possibly can. Like I've been working out for quite some time, and there's been times where I thought I was like pushing myself to my limit. I actually went to a camp with the organization Max Living in August. It's the first time I pushed myself to my limit, where I literally couldn't get up off the ground. Like I had to crawl. And it took me a while to be able to gain any kind of strength or anything in my muscles to be able to just stand up. Like that's what, that's pushing yourself to a limit. I don't recommend you go there every single time you work out. But I do recommend you go there at least once so you can see what hitting that wall really feels like. Because a lot of people think they're giving it everything they got when they're really not. Like most people, when they think they're giving like 90%, are probably at about 65. So like really push yourself and give it everything you got. And so what you'll see what's happening is after that type of workout, the fat burning process, the fat burning metabolic process will continue far longer after than just a low steady state workout. And also this afterburn effect is very dependent on other variables as well, such as what you do after that workout as well. So for instance, if you do like a very hard workout on Saturday morning, but the rest of the weekend you're just doing nothing, like sitting on the couch, then yes, that afterburn effect is going to be short. If you like do a hard workout Saturday morning, but you spend the rest of the weekend like eating junk food, just stuff in your face, not doing much activity, anything like that, then that also is going to affect the afterburn effect. So it's also dependent on your meal and your nutrition after your workout as well, because you can offset the benefits of a great workout with poor diet. You cannot exercise away a poor diet. You can't. And that's why when you look at health, you can't just look at one or two things when it comes to health. You have to look at health as an entire community of actions and that you have to take into consideration. And they all have to be done. And you have to give every single thing that you have to the best of your ability, because if not, then you're not going to get the proper results that you want to have. And so with one of the most beneficial types of high intensity, short duration, high intensity workouts is the Max T3 that we have with Max Living. And so with this, it's centered around three things. So the T3, the T's are time, type, and tempo. So as far as the time, typically the thing you hear with people when they want to work out is, well, I don't really have enough time to work out. So with the Max T3 workouts, they're very short workouts, anywhere from like 12 to 16 minutes, including maybe warm up and cool down, 20 minutes at the most. Every single person, I don't care who you are, every single person has 20 minutes in their day. If you don't have 20 minutes in your day, wake up earlier. Everybody can wake up. You can wake up 30 minutes earlier, which gives yourself a little time to get up and get going, and then do this 20-minute workout in total, and then get yourself showered and get ready for your day. Everybody has 20 minutes, and so that's why this workout plan was created, to fit into every single person's schedule, no matter who you are. So the second one is type. So the type of exercises in the Max T3 workout are functional exercises, things that you're actually going to do, and body movements and muscle groups that you use in your everyday life. And so, because a lot of times you can go to the gym and you can get on these weights and you can do these exercises that you rarely ever do in your daily life. Now they help to build muscle and gain strength, and they add resistance to your bones, which are great. But as far as like the actual functional ability of these workouts that you do see and do in the gym, a lot of times it's not really a lot of functional that. So there's a lot of that in the Max T3. And then also to the tempo, going back to the high intensity, short duration. So a lot of the workouts are either 10 seconds on, 20 seconds on of high intensity, 10 seconds rest, or they're alternating in some version of that, where you're going really hard and then resting, going really hard and resting. And that is what gets you, like we talked about before, that long afterburn effect, and it helps to balance your hormones properly as well too, which creates that overall afterburn effect. And so if you are a member of any Max Living office, you should already have access to the online Max T3 program. If not, then if you're not a member of the office, patient in the office, then go to maxt3.com and you can get registered on the website from there. And it gives you the this list of videos and workouts. For anybody just starting it, what I would recommend you do is start off very low, because there's levels. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. With anybody, start off with a beginner just to see how your body feels, and make sure that you, again, like I talked about before, bring your ego down. Do a lot less than what you think you can do, because you can always do more. But if you end up doing too much and you injure yourself, then you put yourself in a negative situation that's going to set you back. And I don't want anybody to do that. So, toxins. When it comes to fitness plans, toxins are extremely important as well, too, especially when it comes to weight loss. You see a lot of people talk about detoxing when it comes to weight loss, but you have to understand like why detoxing plays such a significant role in weight loss and why toxins have such a negative role on overall fitness. The most important thing to understand when it comes to toxins is that we are surrounded by toxins at all times, whether it's in the air, the food, the water, even things like receipts, water bottles, the chemicals that you use to, especially now, the chemicals used to clean and sanitize, it's just laced with toxic chemicals. A lot of the cleaning products, a lot of the beauty products, a lot of the personal care products, there are toxins everywhere. There was this research done to show that like blood of a fetus, they took a sample of a fetus and it had over 200 toxins in it. And so you just have to understand, like, we are already naturally in a toxic environment, so we have to do as much as we can to detox it, but to also limit our toxic exposure as well, because what they do is they damage enzymes and DNA, and they disrupt your normal hormonal balance. And another thing they do is they lie dormant in your body. And so in order for your body to protect yourself against the toxins, what your body will do is it will wrap the toxin in fat. And so a lot of stubborn fat that people have a hard time getting rid of, it's not just because of the fat, it's because your body is actually toxic, and your body will not get rid of that fat for you, because if it does get rid of the fat, then the toxins are able to roam free and do harm to your body. So in order to get rid of that fat, it's not about focusing on the fat. Sometimes what you have to do is focus on getting rid of the toxins. And one of the ways to get rid of toxins is to sweat. Like, sweat releases a lot of things in your body. It releases things, sweat is made of things like chemicals, toxins, salts, sugars. And so it's a great way to just release that waste from your body. And like the old saying goes, like, sweat is magical stuff. Like, if you cover it, you can get the health and the body of your dreams. So sweat, especially in your workouts. Like, in your workouts, if it's not challenging you, then it won't change you. I'm sure most people have heard that before. And so you have to be honest with yourself. Like, if you're doing a workout and your body is kind of used to it, or you have your normal fitness routine where you just kind of get it done and you just like check the box and you're done, but it didn't really push you. I used to have these coworkers all the time. It's like, if your workout doesn't scare you, then it's not good enough. Just a little bit, right? You should have a little bit of fear of apprehension when it comes to the workout, just because you know it's going to push you to another level. Like, that's what your workout should be, no matter what your fitness level is. If you've never worked out before, or you've been working out for 10 to 15 years, like, what your workout should be designed to push you to your limit. Because if you don't push yourself to your max, what will happen is there'll be no breakdown, there'll be no adaptation, and there'll be no growth. So there'll be no change. So you will stay at exactly the same level that you are. Again, if you're comfortable with where you are and you just want to stay there, then that's fine. You can do that. Because if you just want to maintain where you're at now, then I get it. That's a goal. That's perfectly fine. That's what you want to do. But if you are on a path and on a journey to improve and to get better, you have to be pushing yourself to the point of getting, I'm going to be very clear, getting very uncomfortable and staying and being okay with being in that moment of being uncomfortable. Because the more uncomfortable you are in your workout, then the more growth you will have. Uncomfortable does not mean pain, however. I don't mean that. I don't mean you should be like hurting in your workout, but just extremely uncomfortable and pushing yourself, breathing hard, barely able to talk, barely able to walk, barely able to stand, that is pushing yourself. And when you do that continuously, time and time and time again, what you'll see is your capacity will continue to grow higher and higher and higher and higher. And then you will get to like gain that confidence. You'll surprise yourself, right? You'll be doing things that you didn't even think that you could possibly do because you're pushing yourself to that next level each and every time. And so another aspect of having a proper fitness plan is making sure that you are taking care of your spine and nervous system. As a chiropractor, I cannot stress enough, taking care of your spine and nervous system is the most important thing that you can do when it comes to any aspect of your health, because your spine and nervous system is the foundation to every single function in your entire body. Your spine and nervous system, having a healthy functioning spine and nervous system, is the foundation to every single action in your entire body. And so if you are not taking care of your spine and nervous system, then every single thing that you do beyond that point or outside of that will not have the maximum benefits for you, right? Even things such as doing exercise and working out. You have to make sure that your brain is firing properly, giving proper nerve signals so your muscles can fire properly, so they can move properly, which can get you the greatest benefits out of any workout that you're doing, but also can prevent you from having any injuries as well. You also want to make sure that your spine is in the right position, because form is very important when it comes to working out. And so if your spine is misaligned or your spine isn't moving as fluidly and moving properly as it should, that can also lead you to be susceptible for many type of injuries as well too. So taking care of your spine is extremely, extremely important, but it's obviously in the physical factors of it, but more so about just making sure that your body is functioning properly, just so you can get the greatest benefits out of any type of fitness plan that you have. And so if you are currently under chiropractic care, then great, keep it up, stay consistent with it, stay doing your home exercises to continue the spine, continue to make your appointments consistently, right? And if you are not under chiropractic care, definitely find a Max Living office closest to you and get in as soon as you possibly can, because each day that you go with your spine and nervous system not functioning properly, your body is continuing to degenerate second after second, minute after minute, day after day. So get into a Max Living office nearest to you as close as possible. You go to maxliving.com and just search in, put in your zip code and find out which office is closest to you and get in as soon as you can for an evaluation, just to get your spine and nervous system checked out. All right, nutrition, right? And honestly, just going through nutrition, right? Everybody knows what you should and shouldn't eat, right? So I'm not going to go into that aspect of nutrition, especially because we hit that a lot in the last class that we had. But today, what I'm actually going to be going over is different types of fasting, because fasting is, widely known as definitely a way to help basically reset your body, right? It gives your body a chance to rest, because when you're fasting, you don't have a lot of food in your body that has to be broken down, it has to be processed, because breaking down food and digestion takes a whole lot of energy. And so that energy is then robbed from other rebuilding processes. And so when you're fasting, what it does is it gives your body a chance to go into repair and rebuilding of everything else in your body, to reset and rebalance your hormones, to rebuild structures, to give you proper immune responses, hormone regulation. All of those different things happen when you are able to just not have any food in your system. And so this is one of the reasons why I am not a huge fan of the concept of having 5 to 6 small meals a day, because what that does is it actually never gives your digestive system any chance to rest. And I get it, it's for a very specific purpose, but when it comes to overall and optimal health, that is definitely not a practice that you want to, not a practice you want to get in the habit of doing routinely. Because like I said, again, wears your digestive system down, doesn't give your body a rest, and it's very difficult for your body to go to repair mode when you are resting. And so there are multiple different weight loss benefits when it comes to fasting as well. I mean, obviously, if you don't have food in your system, then your body has to burn off everything that you already have, which is going to cause you to lose weight as well. But it's more specifically, the greatest benefit actually comes from the hormonal reset that comes from not having food into your system. And so there are many different types of fast. You know, most people think of fast as like going days without food, or just going days without food and having water. You can have like a broth or a soup fast. There are fasts where you only eat at certain times of day. And one of the most like commonly popular talked about fasts right now is intermittent fasting. And so basically with intermittent fasting, the entire concept is you eat in a short window of time, but you are without food for the vast majority of the day. And so the most common concept of it is the 16-8 method, where you are without food for 16 hours and you only eat in an 8-hour window. And so and honestly, it can be done very easily is really just if you look at skipping a meal, and which is typically what I find the easiest for myself, because I do intermittent fasting not as I'm like actively just trying to do intermittent fasting, but I just don't eat breakfast. And we've been kind of trained through marketing and through the media and through these people who are honestly trying to make money that you have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? That's just not true. It's not true at all. And so with me, the easiest way to incorporate intermittent fasting is just skip breakfast. And so if you eat at about 8 o'clock in the evening, and then you don't eat again until about 11, 12, or 1, that is actually intermittent fasting, because you're giving your body that time without any food. And then you may eat between, eat lunch and you eat dinner, or whichever meal works the best for you. But it's really just about looking at, all right, where's my schedule? What can I cut out? Can I cut out breakfast? Can I cut out dinner? Whichever one is going to be the most beneficial for me, and whichever one fits with my schedule the most. And when I talk to people who do intermittent fasting, there's this common misconception that it's hard. But every single person I talk to that does intermittent fasting, once they get it done, it's like, oh, this is nothing. It's a piece of cake. You just don't say piece of cake. We're not eating cake. We're talking about diet, being healthy. But they say, all right, well, it's not that difficult. You just skip one meal basically, and there you are. Now, in that though, however, the nutrition source still is extremely important, right? So if you're not eating but the majority of the day, then you have one meal that is still not nutritious, then the effects obviously are not going to be as great as they could be. And so with that, there's another type of fasting that people do. It's called one meal a day. And that's pretty self-explanatory. You just eat once a day. And so with that, it's also, like I said, going back to what I just said, extremely important, the type of meal that you eat. So obviously, if you eat fast food, 3 times a day, eating it just once a day is obviously going to be less detrimental to you. But I don't want you also to fool yourself to thinking that you're still going to be able to gain health through that, right? So yes, eating less of harmful food is always going to be a benefit. But if you're going to eat once a day, or if you're going to fast and just eat in a certain time of day, you still have to make sure that the food that you're eating is of good quality that your body can use. Because you always have to understand the food that you are eating is what is creating your cells. It's what's creating your heart. It's what's creating your liver, your kidney, your bladder, all of your vital organs, your lungs, your skin. And so if you want to have these healthy organs, ask yourself, is my body better off making my vital organs out of junk food, or is it better off making it out of real food? Real food. The food that we have now definitely needs the quotation marks, because some of the stuff should be classified as food. But is it better off with like real food that comes from the earth that we're actually designed to eat? Or is it better off coming from food that tastes great, that's designed to make somebody a lot of money? So with that, the one meal a day is definitely like, that's honestly it's honestly not that difficult as well too, when you have a proper nutritious meal. Because once you're eating more nutritious food, what you'll see is that you're not as hungry as often, because your nutrient deficits are being satisfied. The reason why we get hungry so much all the time is because we're eating a bunch of stuff that doesn't have any nutrients in it. So our body's constantly craving something. We need something. We need vitamin C. We need vitamin K. We need you know, vitamin D. Like we need all of these things, and we're not getting it from the food that we're eating. So we're constantly hungry, and we're constantly in search of it. So there are, let's see, another thing I wanted to say too was, well, I'll go back to that later. So this is a form of fasting, you know, that we can look at, or just a form of taking this into your diet plan with going through and having, breaking down with the advanced plan and the core plan. And if you're not exactly sure what that is, we've done in the other classes, we've gone through with that. Or if you are a patient in the office, just come and talk to us about, you know, what's the difference between the advanced plan and the core plan. But with this, what this can do is you can do intermittent fasting 5 days, and then for 1 day, you can do a plan where you're eating the core day where you're eating the core plan, and then do 1 meal a day. Okay, and with that 1 meal a day, that can be with the advanced plan or the core plan. And the same thing with doing the 4-2-1. So with that one, it's this gives you a little bit. It's not as strict as the other. It's just 1 day. But it's 4 days of the advanced plan, obviously 2 core, and then one meal a day. And when it comes to that, you just want to make sure that, again, you have the proper nutrient sources, and that you are making sure that you are approaching it from a sense of everything that you're doing, whether it's the nutrition or whether it's the fitness, whether it's the chiropractic, you know, no matter what it is, make sure you're approaching everything with a sense of gratitude, I guess I can say, a sense of like joy and peace, and not a sense of restriction. I'm putting handcuffs on myself. I can't do this, I can't do that, you know, feeling bad about it. But you always want to go into every single thing that you're doing with joy and excitement, because you know what's coming on the other end. But in order to do that, you have to have a clear vision of what's coming on the other end as well. And this is one of the reasons why mindset is so important when it comes to your overall fitness plan. Because what you don't want to do is go into it with a sense of self-hate and self-loathing to the point where, all right, I have to do all of these things because I hate myself right now. I hate my body. I hate my life, all those other kind of things. You know, now granted, if that gets you jump started, then great, but don't hold on to that. Or don't have any type of negative feelings or connotations towards anything that you're doing, because you're not going to get the proper benefits for it anyway. If you do, you're not going to like your life. Like, there's no point in being healthy and being, you know, fit and all these type of things if you're still unhappy, because you created it with such dirty fuel and such negative energy. So make sure you're having the proper mindset, understand why you're doing every single thing that you're doing, and have that purpose and goal in mind. You know, if it's to, you know, what I always tell people is figure out what you want to do with your life, who you want to be, what you want your life to look like. And when you do that, then you can apply everything to your life. And then you can, so basically what I mean is that you always want to have the purpose in the forefront of your mind when it comes to your fitness plan, when it comes to your nutrition, when it comes to your mental peace routine. Like every single thing that you're doing in your life, you need to have your purpose and the grand scheme of your life in mind, to understand that, listen, the reason I'm going to the gym is not so I can get muscles or get a six-pack, or to, you know, to look good on the beach or to look good in pictures. The reason I'm going to the gym is because I want to be the best teacher that I can be. The reason I'm going to the gym and working out and pushing myself to my maximum potential is so that I can be the greatest mother or father that I can be in the future. It's so that I can, you know, go out. You know, maybe you have a calling to, you know, help underserved communities. Like, that's why you're working out. That's why you're eating healthy. And you have to have that kind of mindset when you're going into it, because that is going to be there to serve you on those days where you feel like giving up and you feel like you don't want to do it and you feel like you don't want to go to the gym. It has to be something that's going to pull you and basically throw you out of your bed, throw you out off of your couch, whatever it is. And so because if you don't have strong enough reasons, the minute some friction comes along, then chances are, if your discipline is not intact, if your discipline is not intact, then chances are you're going to buckle. And so you have to have the proper reasons in mind. And so, yes, and don't be, you know, don't feel like it has to be something like great and altruistic, right? You may just want to look good on the beach, right? You may just want to say, the reason why I'm working hard right now is because there's this wedding coming up and I want to look good for the wedding, right? There is this, you know, my high school reunion is coming up, and I look good in high school. I want to make sure that when this comes up, I want to look good again, right? That may be a reason for you. If that's what's going to get you off the couch, if that's what's going to get you in the gym, if that's what's going to get you to have the proper nutrition and diet plan, then go with it, right? Nobody can tell you what's going to motivate you to do what you need to do, but you need to be honest with yourself about what's going to get you to take yourself to that next level. And you have to hold on to it, and you have to think about it, and you have to focus on it every single day so that it doesn't fall back in your mind, and then you end up falling back and quitting and losing sight of what's really important. And so with anyone that is on a weight loss journey, because understand, fitness is not about weight loss. Fitness is about getting yourself in the best physical condition to be able to live the life that you want to live. But if anybody is on a weight loss journey, then there's definitely a great bundle that we have. And understand something. Supplements are, shouldn't say this because we're talking about fitness and eating better, but the icing on the cake, right? It's the icing on the cake. There's no supplement for poor physical activity and poor nutrition and poor sleep and not taking care of your spine and nervous system. There are no supplements that are going to take care of that, right? All supplements are, again, is the final support, right? The cherry on top, the bow on the present, basically, for everything else that you've already done. Because especially with the type of supplements that we have with Max Living, because our supplements are there strictly to support the body's own natural ability to do what is already designed and what is already capable and wise enough to do. It's just there to support it where you may be missing these things in your life. And so with our Max Living Weight Loss Bundle, what we have is our Pro L-carnitine, which is an amino acid, which is great for normalizing energy and helping with just overall energy production. And one of the things it does is it helps to oxidize fat. And so it's great with, like I said, that's one of the ways it helps with energy production and also help to balance hormone levels as well. Also, the metabolics burn. That is filled with, various different nutrients such as, I just drew a blank. The metabolics burn is like green tea extract, ginseng, and it's just various different nutrients that is going to help with fighting cravings. That definitely helps with balancing hormones, because honestly, what it all boils down to is a lot of these help to balance hormone regulation. And I don't like the term. I don't like using the term boosting metabolism, because the whole point of your metabolism is that at its perfect level is exactly where it needs to be, right? At 100% is good. It doesn't need to go past 100%. But the problem with most people is that it's below that. So what this does is just helps to get your metabolism back to 100% or as close to 100% as possible. And with our grass-fed whey protein, this also helps to fight cravings, because it helps you to be full longer because of the quality of the protein. And the reason why being grass-fed is so critically important is because the protein structure of grass-fed protein versus conventional raised, the protein structure is completely different, which has a completely different effect on your body. And just like with any of our supplements, especially the protein, this is one of the cleanest and purest sources of protein on this planet. And I'm willing to put my license up against that. You take the top protein brands, you put them all together and you run them through the studies and you do the research on them, I guarantee you our grass-fed protein is definitely one of the cleanest and purest forms of protein. Because at the end of the day, with all of our supplements, like I said in the beginning, our goal is to get you to become the best version of yourself. And so with our supplements, that's what we want these to do, to be able to aid you in becoming the best version of yourself. So we're going to provide you with the cleanest, purest supplements, because so many supplements out there are just filled with junk. They don't have the proper dosage to be able to have a therapeutic effect, or they're not in a bioavailable form to the point where you're taking it in and you're just flushing it right out. But with our supplements, like I said, we just want you to be able to become the best version of yourself. We're not looking to just sell a bunch of supplements here. And so with that, if you get the weight loss bundle through this, there'll be a link in the chat where you can be able to get a discount from it. And also too, if you come through the office, there will be a discount with that as well. Another thing you're going to get is we have a PDF of our Max Giving books. We got Thanksgiving coming up, but in our Max Giving recipe book, this is a way to be able to still enjoy, that sense of, eating and coming together as a family and fellowshipping and having a meal with your family, but also doing it in a very healthy way, to be able to not only be healthy for your body, but to be delicious as well too. I don't believe that misconception that eating healthy tastes less delicious than non-healthy food. Like, it's just not true. You just have to figure out what to do. And in this recipe book, there are many, many great recipes that are good for you and good tasting as well. Okay? Listen, again, I want to commend each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video or to come to the class, taking time to just invest in your life, invest in your health. If you want to get in contact with us, there are many different ways to do that. You want to get in contact with us on social media. The office is King Family Chiropractic. You can go to our social media at Instagram, Dr. King Chiro. Go to King Family Chiropractic on Facebook. Myself, Dr. Marshall Freeman on Facebook, on Instagram, Dr. Freeman 619. Look us up, give us a call. You got any questions, comments, concerns, compliments? We accept all of them. With anything, like, we're here to serve. Basically, we're here to serve you. So please reach out to us. Please contact us, and please continue to do every single thing that you can to take care of yourself and be on the lookout for any other videos, any other events, and everything that we're having. I'm sure at some point the world's going to open back up full swing again. And when we do, you're all invited to come to our office or any Max Living office just to be able to learn and continue to grow. With that being said, turn this video off, get to work on loving yourself, get to work on bettering yourself, and get to work on loving yourself enough to be able to go out and love the world and love everyone else in your surroundings as much as you should. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, whatever it may be. I will hopefully see you all some other time.